Pressure force, man.
You got it. Come on, come on.
No. Good boy.
Out.
Yo, shut up. Hey, who got him?
Help me out, man.
Get it. Pull it. Help me.
Out for it, baby. Keep coming.
New play. Yo, what's right?
Shot.
Get it. Come around. New play.
Yep.
Stay there.
I'm up. Fish. Pick it in. Hey, put it
Get
back.
that.
Pressure force, man.
You got it. Come on.
Help. Shoot that, baby. Come on. Come on. Same team.
Yep.
Come get it.
Get to him.
Hey, yo, right here. Shot. Grab that, man. Hell done. Foul. Watch the pick. Watch out. Yo, man, way to get it.
Here we go. Attack. Here we go. Get a good look. Good look.
Down.
Good shot. Let's get a good shot.
Three. Hey, yo, right here.
Get down low.
Three.
I got your help.
Come on.
Hey, yo,
box him out.
right here.
Hey, back door. Shot.
Hey. Yo, get it up.
Hey, good boy.
Watch it.
Foul. Oh, Patches. Here we go. Abdul.
I got it.
It's on you. Oh, me.
Corner. Back screen, I got you. Here we go. Get it going.
I'm back.
And the foul.
Out.
Flowers again.
Get past.
Watch it.
Get it going.
Come get it. Inside.
No.
Pick on me. Get it. Hey, push it. Shoot it.
Shot.
Back screen, I got you. Here we go. Get it going.
I'm back.
Go screen. Got you. Flash it out.
Hey, yo, front him. Watch the screen.
No shot.
They're coming.
Watch it, Connor.
Hey, swing it.
Flash.
Shot. Kick it out, man. Kick it out.
Corner. Back screen, I got you. Here we go. Get it going.
I'm back.
Go screen. Got you. Flash.
Way to grab it.
No. Push it.
What's up, baby?
Watch me.
Shoot that, boy.
Left.
Ball.
Pressure force, man.
You got it.
Oh, foul. Hey, yo, right here, baby. Ball. Buster. I'm gonna keep coming, baby. Hey, swing it. Who's watching this?
Get to him.
Hey, give me that. Shoot that,
How are you?
Shot.
I got it.
Whose man is that?
Oh, ball. What's him? Get that.
Trail.
Oh, you better shoot that. Shut up. Go get it.
Good boy. Get to him.
up!
Get that. For shot.
Hey,
Shot. Keep coming. Let's go.
Hey, kick it out.
shot! To the
Grab
board!
it, grab it.
I'll take it.
Watch it, watch it up top.
I got him!
Get it.
Good board!
Oh, yo, right here. New play.
Get there!
Shooter, no.
Go low. Who got a ball?
There, no middle.
Set up!
Corner. Corner.
Screen coming! Oh, get that! Close in!
Give it up.
Ball, That's all you! I got ball!
Got you,
Big coming! Stay on him! Get him!
Come on, baby. Put it back up.
Come on, who's better, man?
Hey, ow.
Fire.
Right there.
Out of bounds.
On the wing. Snap it.
Blue, 3. Here we go.
Ball coming.
Hey, get that!
Give it up.
Stuck out. That's mine.
Blue, 3.
All you, baby. All day.
Blue, 3. Here we go. Got you, pal. Good. Crash that force, man. Crash
You
it.
got it. Come on.
Shooter, no.
Go low.
Crash that force, man. Crash it. Give it up.
Box out.
Get on, my man!
Fire.
Foul!
That's okay, you got one more.
Hey, yo, right here.
I got it.
Set up.
Blue, three. I got you. Go. Got you, pal. Good. Shooter, no!
Go low.
Stop!
Put him back. Corner.
Hey, yo, right here.
Corner.
Big that ball.
Ball on left. Come get it. Kick it out. You forgot something. Come on, man. Throw with me. Hey, yo, right here. Hey. Baby. Fire. Hey, balance it out.
Right here. Just set it up. Watch right.
Oh, Bobby, yo! Hey, right here! Pick up left!
On the wing. Double.
20.
Shot clock violation.
Maybe I'm open.
Help!
Rebound.
Grab that.
Hey, come to me. I need some help over here. Come on. Oh, come on. Be up on him.
Too strong for you, baby.
Give it up!
I got ball.
Push
Stay
it,
with
push
us,
it.
man.
There
You
you
got it. You
go.
got it. Come on. Come on.
Yo. Get it fair.
Hey, you got another. It's all right.
Shoot her low.
Back, go, Bo. Go low. Go ball. Oh,
You got it. You got it.
Give it up.
Back out.
Rebound.
Grab that.
String up.
Hey, get outside.
Get to him.
Downstream, downstream.
I'm through.
Do it, people!
Use me. Yep. Turn down.
Use that. Use that. Huh?
Come on.
Backstream, come on.
Hey, yo, my man, I got next.
We added the 2000. What was special about that 2002 team?
Man, what was special was the city. Playing in that arena with the cowbells, and then the players, the Doug Christies and Bobby Jackson, his heart, of course, Jay Will, Mike Bibby, Peja Vladi, Scott Pollard, Gerald Wallace. Oh man, if I forgot you, my bad, but it was a lot.
Yo, watch him! Way to go, good boy!
Grab that ball. You got it.
The ball! Cross screen,
Right here.
Foul. Shooting two.
Foul!
Get the perimeter!
Yo, get on him, yo! Yo!
Watch that shooter. Outlet! Back up, bro. No! Oh, get back. Hey, go.
Hey, yo, right here. Shot.
I'll take it. Who's got the ball?
Watch the pick. Pick coming.
Watch the pick.
Hey, yo, get it up.
Where's the foul? Put it back up.
And the foul.
Come on, y'all. Box out.
Pick him in.
The ball! Get over it!
Good boy. Hey, get the
Boy.
New play.
Who's watching here?
Foul.
New play. I'm up. Fish.
Let's shoot up. Get on him. Get mine.
Watch out. Hey, put it back.
Switch!
Hey! Here we go! The ball! Cross screen, go over it! Watch up!
Don't let him shoot down.
Hit it! Get that! Good job!
No baseline!
No! Over it.
Watch the cover!
Rebound!
Grab it.
That's all you, man.
Get ball. Box out.
Hey, good rebound!
Here we go! The ball!
Shot!
Hey, help me out, man!
Pressure him up.
Man, lock up! Get that! Good job! Watch that shooter! Back up!
Ball up. Stay on it.
Give me!
Out of bounds.
Right here!
Hey, watch the pick.
Back up, bro!
20 seconds. Start it.
Get that! Pick!
No baseline!
Sharp!
Get that.
Skip! Ball! Left back! Corner! Back screen, I got you! Here we go! Get it going!
Shoot that!
Pressure the force, man! Pressure!
You got it. Come on.
No!
Right here. Box out.
Good board! I got back.
Here we go, pick up your man!
Right here, baby.
Shot. Way to get it. For you, baby. All day.
No!
I see you!
Oh, get that.
Shut up! Go get it!
Shot,
Pressure
shot,
forwards,
shot.
man. Pressure on him. No! Pressure forwards, man.
You
Pressure.
got it. Come on, come on.
Go outside.
Oh, shit! Out! Out of bounds. Yo!
Get that. Good shot.
No baseline!
Oh, that's you.
Shot up, shot up! And one!
Outside help. Shooting. Here we go.
Box.
What's up?
Heavy up open! Shot!
Don't let him shoot that.
Yeah, man.
That's mine.
Get that. Good shot.
Hey, yo,
Right
Right
side.
What? Ball! What the hell? Here we go. Get it up.
Ball out.
Get that. Good shot.
No baseline!
Oh, that's you.
you forgot something.
Got him.
Oh, yo, right here.
He got me.
Pick coming.
Help!
Give me that.
Watch that shooter.
Pick coming. Rip that.
Corner. Back screen. I got you. Here we go. Get it going.
Get there.
Back. Go screen. Pressure forwards, man. Pressure.
Downstream.
Bouncy ball.
For you, baby.
Pull it. Shots up. Pressure him up.
Watch that shooter. Back up, bro.
Grab it.
Foul! Shooting two.
That's it. Kick it out, man. Kick it out.
No!
Come to me. Come to me.
Down.
Right side.
Get it going! Here we go! Get it!
Grab it.
Get that. For shot.
Shot.
Corner, Phil!
You can't guard me.
Foul.
Get that. For shot.
No baseline!
Yo, watch him. Get here. Put him in there.
Shoot that, boy.
Help me!
Step out. Come on, man. Don't forget the clock.
Back door.
And the foul.
Help! Here we go!
Kick it out!
You got double. Back cross.
Come on, baby. Get that board. Go get it.
Out.
I see him. I see him. Hey, yo, right there.
Yo, look at the box. Hit me,
Green
man.
coming!
Pressure that force, man! Get
You got it. Come on.
Drop it.
Shut up.
Hey! Yo!
Ball out!
Hey, yo, right here.
Let him shoot.
No.
Good look,
Out!
One more!
Down!
Close again.
Yo, watch him.
Watch that shooter!
Watch him. Way to grab it. Yo.
Shot! Come get it!
Pressure force, man.
Hey, yo, right here! Hey, bounce!
Close!
Yo, shut it up. What the fact?
Watch top, got wheel.
Whoa!
Help your side, watch top.
That's what the ring room for! Ah!
Rotate!
Oh, gotta move!
Hey, shoot that.
Give it up!
Hey, yo, right here. Shot!
Fire!
Hey, get outside.
Hey, yo, right here!
Woo! Way to go, baby!
I got your help side! Pick!
I got ball. Watch it.
Pressure him up. Shot two. Hey,
Get over him. Yo.
Get it going!
Scotty. Come on, come on.
Start it.
job.
That's awesome. Now, speaking of 2K, we got a pretty cool... What's your trash talk game in 2K? Because we're gonna have a little friendly rivalry going on right here.
My trash talk game is real nice. Make me feel like my old days when I was on the court. That's why I have to give my fellas.
Back screen, I got you. Here we go. Get it going.
Rebound!
Snap that, grab it.
You got it.
Hey, whose man is this?
What's the roll of that?
Hit me, I'm open.
Knock it down.
Get the board.
And one.
Hey, help.
Yo, come this side, come this side. Hey, who got it?
Screen!
Where's the board? Get the perimeter.
Out.
Thank you.
Close again.
I see him.
Skip.
Can I get it?
What? Whoa, we got it. Get it going. Here we go. Get it out quick. Skip.
Close again.
Skip pass.
Hey, yo, right here.
Get it going.
Kick it out.
Yo, man, way to get it.
Go deep side. Watch it. Left top. Clean up. There we go. Got top. Left side help. Shooting.
Way to grab it.
Push it, baby.
Back up.
Shut up.
Hey, push it. Shot two. That's all you. Hey, who got him?
Right here.
Oh, get that.
Close again.
Hey, yo, right here. Hit.
Come around.
Ball to left.
Down 3. I'm through.
Grab that ball out.
Way to grab it.
Yep.
I got it.
First set.
Watch it, watch it up top. Rotating up. Here we go.
Watch out. Hey, good board, good board.
We go.
Don't let him shoot that.
Pick up. Box.
Top wing.
Whoa.
Stop.
Switch.
Shot.
Here we go.
Who's watching here?
That's on you. Hit me, I'm open.
Oh, that's you. Hit it.
Get that. Get mine.
Get that. Hey, help me out, man.
No baseline.
Oh, that's you.
We got ball. I'll take it. That's it. No, watch it. Oh, that's automatic.
Here we go. Attack. Here we go. Get a good look.
Shot.
Shot. Hey, good rebound. Help out.
Flash.
Give him that. One hand.
Shoot that, boy!
Come
Now
get
you in
it.
front of him!
And the foul.
Corner. Go.
Hey, swing it.
I got shooter. Hey, you can hit that all day. Fire.
Hey, great. Same team.
Fire.
Who's watching that?
Rebound.
Grab that. Don't let him shoot that.
Shooter, no!
Get back, go low.
Hey, swing it.
Three!
And one.
Give it up!
Oh, wait, get it. He got me.
I see you. Corner. Out.
Yeah, that's you all day.
Shooter, no!
Too strong. Yo, right here.
I got him!
I'm too strong for you, baby.
Get to him.
Downstream.
I'm through.
Do it, Nicole!
Yep. You got double. Back cross.
Jump ball!
Watch that shooter. Back up. Get that.
Hey, you can't guard me!
Back screen, I got you. Here we go. Hey, good.
Get that. Good job. Strong.
Good shot.
Yeah, man.
Here we go. Corner. Back screen, I got you.
With the foul!
Watch that shooter. Hold it. Back up. Oh, get back. Hey,
Let it go.
I'm back. Watch that shooter.
Back up.
Oh, get down, baby.
This is all day!
Here we go. Attack. Here we go. Get a good look. Good look. Good shot. Let's get a good shot. Pull up. Cutter. Good ball.
I'm here. Come back. Here.
Strong foul.
Get them.
Down screen.
Back up.
cross. You got double. Back cross, back cross, back cross.
Shooting two.
Go, baby!
Twenty.
Strong foul.
Finish, man! One none!
Too strong, baby.
Blows again.
Too strong for her, baby.
Give me that!
The ball.
Cross street, go over it.
Hey! 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 Yup. There it is. There it is. What's up, everybody? My team producer Robbie back at you again with some more My Team action. Today, we want to talk about the underrated players, those budget players that you can get and upgrade your team and be competitive in those mean streets of Unlimited. Here are a few things to remember when searching for your personal budget ballers on your team. First, make sure that you take a look at the new content releases. Even if you can't afford, let's just say, that Galaxy Opal point guard Tracy McGrady, there may be an opportunity to pick up some of the prior versions of Tracy McGrady, like the Pink Diamond Prime version or the Galaxy Opal Leap Year version. Because remember, the market is affected by prior releases and the new ones. So, if that Galaxy Opal Tracy McGrady is out there going for $1 million MT, maybe people are looking to dump the older Pink Diamond Tracy McGrady. And that card is a great card in its own right. Definitely at the top of my class when it comes to budget balling cards. This is a 6'8" shooting guard. Size matters when it comes to defending in my team especially, and I really think this card is a great all-around find. Another thing to remember when you're searching out your personal budget ballers is dynamic duos. I always talk about that Dino Raja and Tony Kukoc duo, but I'm going to do it again. Galaxy Opal Dino Raja is a thing. Pink Diamond Tony Kukoc is a thing, but only if you put them together on the court at the same time. If you have one half of a duo, maybe take a look at that auction house and find the other half, see where they match up, and go from there. Don't forget evolution cards. These are a great way to upgrade your players for free. For free. There is no better budget option than no budget.
This is Hank and the Hornet.
Big game tonight.
The New Orleans riverfront gleaming brightly along the Mississippi here tonight. Hey, Dave.
Well,
What a great attitude. He is a monster on defense. David, thank you. And now here's the upcoming schedule for the Dallas Mavericks. On Wednesday, they'll go up against the Magic in Orlando. And then on Friday, they're off to New York to face the Knicks.
And, you know, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
Now we'll look at Dallas's starting lineup. Hardaway and Porzingis in at the forward slots. Luka Doncic out there with Che. And it's Okafor in at the 5 down low. And for the Pelicans, Ingram the 3 and Zion the 4. Ball and Holiday combine at the guard spots. And it's Cauley Stein in at the 5. Home in the paint. Adjusting to the NBA game for this latest class of rookies, Doris. Always growing pains, a feeling out process. It's always interesting to watch that being put together.
There are, Kev. There always seem to be a couple of welcome to the NBA moments as a rookie. Certainly you might take your lumps here and there, but this is a talented young group. Can't wait to see what they do.
I can't either.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Dallas shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Well, when you talk to his teammates, they have so much more respect for Che's off-the-court endeavors. This guy is so much more than just a basketball player.
Now here's Williamson. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Boston.
And the other thing, guys, he really got after it on the backboards. What a complete game for this guy. Well, they're trying to establish their attack down in the paint. And make no mistake, these help their overall confidence.
And so just over a minute and a half played. Ingram wide open from outside off the mark.
Boy, having a hard time making shots. Just 1 for 4 to start this game.
With the second effort, and Che with the layup. Che's got 8 points.
Well, Che showing you the willingness to get off his feet, get a board, and stick it back.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Tipped away. Porzingis with the steal. Doncic passes to Hardaway, and it's blocked.
And if Williamson's in the area, you better be careful. When you aren't, he's going to stifle you on the offensive end.
Well, the first thought from the D there was to protect the rim, so good idea to take the 3 in transition.
The drive by Che, and Che throws it down.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
And so here is New Orleans, following the score by Dallas. Here's Holiday. Unable to get that one. Excellent D there from Okafor. And the dunk by Che.
A very opportunistic player. Che gets out in transition for an easy basket.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
Trying to snap them out of this little slump.
Just feels like the basket is looking awfully small to them right now. They're having a hard time getting anything to fall.
A platoon swap here for New Orleans. And then for Dallas. Powell, he's jacked in for Okafor. Jackson comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Curry subbed in for Doncic. The pass to Hart. New Orleans moving it around. Here's Jackson. 5 on the clock. The shot. And no good. Trying to use the glass. And 4 years at Villanova for Josh Hart. Oh, what about that dunk?
That was special. My goodness. Wow, absolutely tremendous finish by Che.
Hart the pass to Jackson. Shoots from 14 and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Pelicans shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
This season, in general, has not been kind to them at the free throw line. Only about 71%.
first free throw is good.
We know this about the Dallas Mavericks. They will put every piece of data and information to use in terms of trying to get an advantage. Think about it, guys. They are now doing blood tests, trying to head off injury for their players. They believe this gives them a clearer picture into the overall health of their athletes.
Mavericks leading by 7. Pass to Che. Pass to Kleba. On the wing, Jackson. Up top, Powell. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. And Doris, those blood tests you were talking about, always subject to player permission. They want to honor player privacy.
I think you have to, Kevin, and most of the Mavs have embraced it. These tests have the ability to measure almost 50 biomarkers. As an athlete, you're always trying to stay in peak form. As an organization, you're always trying to manage appropriately their workloads.
Jackson passes to Alexander Walker. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. Pelicans shooting their 3rd free throw shot of the game. And the free throw no good, but they'll get the ball back here. .40 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Hart. And the Pelicans miss again. And the Mavericks with possession. They're on a 16-7 run. And it's good for 2.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint. And
Jackson with the bounce pass. Here's Jang, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Now, this is, to me, where Zhang is really starting to improve, making moves inside that force the defender's hand.
The Pelicans shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game. He's off on the second.
Now, this is a guy who was 63% from the free throw line his first year. Zhang now has transformed himself into a very good free throw shooter.
Yeah, we're seeing some fireworks from them already.
Well, what I love is the game plan has been solid from the opening tip, and guys are making their shots. That's critical.
Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. Mavericks lead by 11. We'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia, but thanks to his brother, developed a passion for the NBA.
My older brother, he was a big fan of NBA always, and he always had pictures of Michael and Kobe and Shaq.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Mavericks team out there.
They set a physical tone in the first, and that really showed on the backboard.
I think it's why they hold the lead here early, because they're controlling the flow of the game with those second chance opportunities.
On the floor for Dallas, Wright is out there with Che. Then there's Dwight Powell. Then there's Jackson. And it's Kleba in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. From the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Che in the last game against the Jazz was all business. He scored an amazing number of points and seemed to pick apart the defense all night with a ton of assists. He racked up big numbers in what was a really good performance. Can he carry it over tonight? We'll see, Kevin.
Yeah, David, in stretches, he was absolutely dominant. Greg, he'd love to match that performance tonight.
This team needs his contributions. When he's right, he makes winning plays time and time again.
Well, when you're coming off a game like he had, you know the difference tonight. They're going to load up against him. They're going to try to take him out of his rhythm early.
Now here's Ingram. 20 points for him last game against Boston. Just 4 to shoot. From deep three-point range. And again, New Orleans has no luck. Doris, who are some of your favorite players to interact with, interview, and question as you go through the season?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys. I think, certain people really give a lot of thought to their answers. So a Kyrie Irving, he wants to explain what he's thinking. He's willing to share and take a moment and consider the question. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, all of these guys, when I ask a question, Kev, they'll pause for a moment, consider the question, and then respond. And for somebody who's got to interview, there's nothing.
6 seconds left in the first half of basketball. 1 second left, and the basket by Jackson. Jackson's got 7 points.
How about that move? You'll see very few players able to pull off. Just sensational stuff.
And so it's the Dallas Mavericks riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Alvin Gentry. Coach, what have you liked so far from your team, and what have you not liked?
Well, I like the pace of the game.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime, so we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Well, you look at Shea in this game, he has been everywhere.
Oof. That first half looked like a dunk contest mixtape. Was just destroying the rim.
Yeah, this guy, he plays fast, he's aggressive, and if you let him get to the cup, there is nothing that you can do about it.
Ball and Holiday combine at the guard spots. Ingram the 3 and Zion the 4. And it's Cauley Stein in at the center, locking down the middle. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. Outside Hardaway. Back to Che. Cauley Stein grabs the ball.
Unbelievable. He blew that. Look, guys, no clue what went wrong there.
And you could see he knew exactly where that long rebound was coming off, able to get there quickly and snatch it up.
Shea dishes to Okafor. Over Cauley Stein. Gets it to go from 8 feet. Okafor's got his first basket of the night. Pelicans trail by 15. Now here's Ball. No points in the game yet for him. And that one's good. Ingram.
And with Ingram, he can score from anywhere. His jump shot is money, and his drives to the hoop, they're lethal.
And the basket is good. And the Mavericks lead by 15.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Greg, to me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
It's the quickness of Ball that's a problem for defenders. Solid at finding ways to get fouled on the way up.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Hayes, he's checked in for Cauley Stein. And it's Josh Hart in for Drew Holiday. The wide open look here for Porzingis. Good, and the assist goes to Che. Porzingis has got his second basket of the night.
Well, Kevin, how about the shot mechanics of your 7-footer? Kristaps Porzingis is efficient in catch and shoot. Well, with Kristaps Porzingis, you love not only the skill, but the passion he plays with. You would never use the descriptor passive with this guy.
Che passes to Porzingis. From down in the low post, it goes. Porzingis has got 6 in the quarter.
Everything going to plan here to start the third. 80% shooting thus far.
Ball kicks to Hart. And another 3 for New Orleans. And with Porzingis, as Doris, you mentioned, that energy he has is contagious.
Well, he is the prototypical modern NBA big, right? Porzingis can run the floor in transition. He can face up and shoot with range. He can put it on the deck, and he can play out of the post. What more could you ask?
Ball feeling it out a bit. Right wing, here's Williamson. Offline with his three.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Second shot opportunity, and he sinks the layup. And it's 8 points for Porzingis.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over. Doris, you've said this often. It is incredibly difficult to compare guys of different positions in different eras, isn't it?
It really is. There's so many discussions about who's the GOAT, who's the greatest of all potential.
There's 42 seconds left to play here in the third. Good. And it's Shea picking up the assist. Shea's got his 5th assist in this one. Pelicans trail by 18. Inside. Here's Jang. He can't hit that time. And the Mavericks going the other way now. When this game is done, they'll be off to Orlando, and they'll take on the Magic. And that'll be game 2 of 4 straight on the road.
You know, you get the sense this guy, the 4 years of college ball helped. He plays at his pace, and he does it with such calm.
Holiday with it. He's been producing a fair amount of offense night in and night out as he's averaging 14 points a game. Here's Hart. No good there. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. Their defense has been active and effective. We've got more in store for you right after this. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
We just got to do a better job of executing, okay? And then we got to get back, guys. I mean, we got to be sprinting back.
Well, Greg, he doesn't sound pleased with his team's transition defense.
And you can't fault him. I mean, Coach Gentry really fighting to get his team more engaged.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that, to this point, has not been an evenly fought contest. A moment now to reset the lineups, brought to us by Gatorade, all fueled up here for the 4th quarter. On the floor for Dallas. Inside of the 4 and the 5, Porzingis and Powell. Shea is out there with Wright, and it's Curry in at the 3 slot. A shot by Alexander Walker, no good.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Pass to Powell. Good. And it's Shea picking up the assist. Shea's got his 8th assist here tonight.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
The wide open look here for Holiday. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Here's Shea. A few possessions into the 4th quarter, just over a minute played. There's the pass to Powell. Right with it. Cauley Stein defending. 6 on the shot clock. And stolen by Cauley Stein. Kicks it to Holiday. Here's Alexander Walker. Back to Holiday. Pass to Alexander Walker. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Shea inside, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Shea's got 25 points in the game.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Here's Alexander Walker. Here's Hart. Good on the 3-point shot. Hart's got 14 points here in the second half.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
Shea passes to Porzingis. Good once again. That makes him 8 for 9 this game.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Passes it to Jang. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. The shot by Holiday, no good. And here's Che. Pass to Porzingis. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Boy, Kev, how about Porzingis? Shrugs off the hit. That work in the weight room paying off already. You gotta love the time he's put in to make himself a challenge.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Okafor is checked in for Dwight Powell. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Curry. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Wright. Doris, in 2004, the Charlotte Bobcats became the NBA's 30th team. When do you think we're going to see another team added, whether it's an expansion or even multiple expansions?
Well, let's go directly to the most important source, and that's Commissioner Adam Silver, who has said that expansion is inevitable, but right now, not a huge priority. So, you know, listen, we've heard Seattle is on the short list of cities that wants to get a team, and what a great city, what a great NBA fan base. I hope someday we get back to Seattle.
So much history up there, you're correct. New Orleans moving the ball around. And the Pelicans miss again.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play. I'll tell you, it's one thing to do this at home, another to do it in a hostile environment.
Boy, just sheer dominance, the ability to step into enemy territory and flat out take over. This is impressive.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Dallas.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Che.
What you love about his performance is that he is simply taking what the defense allows and then making the most of his opportunities.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
No question, GA. They've gotten hot at exactly the right time. Clutch play on a team level.
We've got 28 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Just 5 to shoot. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Doncic right side. Shoots over ball. They shoot again. And Che with the nice bucket inside.
Well, they knew it would be a hostile environment, and they rose to the challenge.
And sometimes, Greg, when everyone's rooting against you, it seems to bring the unit closer together. It certainly did tonight.
So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look real. What an efficient performance at both ends.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Older, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. See you next time.
Hey, Shaq here. Another game.
Gotta love it. Sometimes we release so much content during the My Team year that some cards may get overlooked. I just have a few cards that I personally use and love and have had trouble just even auctioning. One of them is the Pink Diamond Walt Frazier that has come out in the Prime VIP from a lot of sets ago. I have no idea why this card is so criminally undervalued. It can drive and dunk, he can shoot the three, and he is one of the best defensive players of all time.
Let's set the tone early.
The skyline of Orlando seen here during a gorgeous sunset. Quite a backdrop for our broadcast tonight. Hi, everyone. We're coming to you live on 2K Sports, bringing you the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And, of course, David Aldridge is joining us tonight from the sideline. And here's a look at some numbers for Che.
And, guys, how about the surge of offense he's experiencing right now? These last 5 games, he's been a machine.
And before we... Well, tremendous athleticism. Thanks, D.A. So let's take a look at the starters for the Dallas Mavericks. Hardaway and Porzingis in at the forward slots. Doncic out there with Che. And it's Okafor in at the center filling out the middle. And for the Magic, at the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Adams is out there with Terrence Ross. And it's Isaac in at the small forward position.
You know, guys, the Dallas Mavericks with the longest active sellout streak of any pro basketball team. You can put sellout in quotes because they actually give a lot of tickets away to schools and community service groups to make sure that building is full.
Che outside.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. My goodness. Boy, that'll fuel inject them a little bit with some energy. Che, bringing the fire.
Here's Adams. Excellent D there from Okafor. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for the Dallas Mavericks. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
Remarkable consistency from deep. You can't count on that every game, especially on the road.
Yeah, you know, the defense had no answer for him. To do that kind of damage on the road, impressive.
Clark up front. That's where the game will likely be won or lost in this one.
Great talent, no doubt, on the front lines here. But if for some reason they cancel each other out, then you know where it's going to be decided, in the backcourt, with guys about your size, Kevin.
Wait a minute.
Well, you can't give him any room to maneuver on the board because once he does, he's going to make you pay.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Doncic with the steal. It's stolen by Adams. Ross with it. He's picked up by Doncic. No good from Ross.
It seemed like he changed his mind halfway through the layup, tried to go to something else, and flat out choked it.
And the dunk by Che.
Boy, that's exactly the set they like to run with the ball in Che's hands. Let him quarterback the offense to a hoop.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Adams with it. And the pass to Ross. from outside the arc. Another miss by Orlando. For Dallas, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field. That was a strong dunk.
Well, I think that's what you want to see. I mean, Shea not settling for a spot-up jumper, but driving the ball and scoring on the move.
Ross passes to Vucevic. An easy 2 points on the layup.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Oh, what a finish!
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark.
And guys, I know there are a lot of questions right now defensively for this team. There's no doubt about that.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
And guys, I like the fact that he chose the one-hand tomahawk slam because you get a little higher when you go off one hand and 1 foot.
And the 6'7" swingman, Terrence Ross, the number 8 pick out of Washington.
Well, you know, the shooting and leaping ability of Ross, phenomenal. I mean, I think the defensive end is where he can solidify his game and really improve. He's got all the tools, though, to be an excellent two-way player.
And both free throws good for Ross. The Mavericks leading. Shea outside. The shot, no good. Gordon with the defensive effort. Bounce pass, Isaac. They grab their own miss. Ross, and he hits it to tie the game up.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
Hey, guys standing around spectating, I mean, you got to get in there and get tough.
Shea drives in. The wide open look here for Porzingis. Good, and the assist goes to Shea.
Shea knows to have his head up at all times, scanning the floor, because that way you can deliver to an open teammate on time, on target.
And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, here's Adams, and it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. And Shea throws it down hard.
Porzingis has no problem giving the ball up. This is just the kind of unselfishness you like to see.
Here's Adams. Pass to Ross. To the inside. Here's Gordon, and it's blocked. What a play as he just snatches the shot out of midair. Oh, and the jam by Shea.
Boy, it's all about Shea in this game. He's been an absolute beast, taking care of business.
Now here's Adams. Ross passes to Adams. They get it back. Porzingis with the block.
Tell you what, Porzingis showing great timing as the anchor of the defense there.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
And, you know, they need to stay aggressive here. Build the lead up while they've got the chance. Don't waste this opportunity.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Pass to Ross. Knocked loose. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And so here's Orlando. To end the run. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
The mid-range jumper is a high percentage shot for him, and when he's got that much room, forget about it.
Shea drives in, and the dunk by Shea.
That's going to make a defender think twice about getting in Shea's way next time. Posterized.
The Magic trail by 9. Adams outside to the middle. Here's Vucevic, and he banks in the layup. Vucevic has got 6 points.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Down low, Okafor. That shot missing. Gordon with the defensive effort.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg.
Well, I like the way he capped off that drive. The one-hand hole punch.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then, Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Boy, picture-perfect teamwork that time, guys. One guy sacrificing for the other. That's how you succeed in this league.
Takes a three, hands it from downtown. Gordon's got his second bucket.
You know, when Gordon is hitting this all the time, the defense will have to play up on it. Consistency is the key.
Che outside. Oh, and the jam by Che.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in. Build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime.
And why not? A little salt in the wound. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys reeling and on the ropes.
No good from Ross.
Not much falling for him this quarter, guys, and you can sense his frustration.
Oh, here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rim.
Boy, the guys on the bench loving every minute of that one.
Adams outside. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. It's on Jahlil Okafor.
Boy, you look at Gordon. He is cut up now. Fantastic at being able to overcome physical defenses because of his own physicality.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Hamid Bamba, he's checked in for Vucevic. Anthony comes in for Ross. And it's Aminu in for Jonathan Isaac. The Mavericks shooting their first foul shots of the night here. Clark, you'd think that team chemistry would just improve as the season goes along, but maybe not if you have personality issues in that locker room.
You know, Kevin, it's one of the most fragile elements in team sports. Chemistry, culture, accepting roles, sacrificing your own individual game for the good of the team. And I think it's always a work in progress.
And as a leader, as I know you were when you played, I'm sure you were dealing with those things all season long.
Yeah, you try to lead by example, but also there's opportunity and times when you have to step up and voice what you see that could be detrimental to your team's success.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
Adams taking his time here. To the paint. Got a hand on it.
Like seeing Powell flex his muscle on the defensive end. Really good at timing his jump to block the shots.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage nonetheless. I mean, it was only with one hand, but he still threw that down pretty hard.
And Shea throws it down hard.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
And, you know, when you've got a chance to put a team away early, you got to take it.
Lays it in off the breakaway. Shea's got 30.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
Passes it to Carmelo. To halt the run. Connects from three-point range.
And the shooting form of Anthony, just perfect. He's dangerous with the catch and shoot and just terrific at scoring when in rhythm.
And it's Shea missing.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Orlando moving the ball around. Gordon deciding where to go with it. Shot clock at 6. They get the rebound. Bamba Powell with the steal. Fast break Dallas. Here's Curry. Oh, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top, but instead he'll shoot free throws.
Can't be too aggressive when guarding Seth Curry because he's good at attacking and drawing fouls.
It's his first trip to the line.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
We've seen some obvious improvement in his free throw shooting since last year.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
And you know, for Curry, getting into the league has been a battle for Seth. I mean, he's more established and playing with more confidence now.
And both free throws good for Curry.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Now Adams. On the wing, Gordon. It's rebounded by Porzingis, and the Mavericks with possession. They're on a 14-6 run. And Shea throws it down hard.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
And there's the pass to Bamba. Back to Adams. Unloads from 13, and that one is good. Adams has got 6 points. So for the Magic, their last game, a loss to the Heat in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, on the road, their defense was just overrun. Couldn't match the intensity of the opponent, and it cost them.
And you know what, guys? It just seemed like they never